This is Out Loud and Laughing.
Welcome back to another episode of Out Loud and Laughing. From the sunny shores of the Eating Out films to the intimate, artistic pages of his new book, Island Boy, and annual calendar, Chris Salvatore has built a career entertaining the masses. But whether he's lighting up the screen or showing his big heart as a viral caretaker, he always proves that genuine vulnerability is his greatest superpower. Welcome, Chris. We're excited to have you on.
Wow, thank you for that intro. Thanks, guys.
We're all about epic on the pod.
Yes, building me up today.
We're so thrilled to have you today. We have so many things to talk to you about. I know we kind of talked about it in the intro. I think we should just dive in. What do you think?
Yes, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, we're super excited to talk to you. You know, I actually have followed your career since some of your early movies from my younger
No
years.
way.
Yeah, so excited to talk about all the things. But before we go into like who Chris used to be, we want to talk about like the new stuff, right? Like your new book, Island Boy. Like you described it as like your most intimate
Yes.
project. So like how does the level of vulnerability required for a photography book compared to like anything else you've done artistically?
Yes. So this, I actually have it right here. We just got in our actual like product
Love.
copies.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it so much. This is actually our fourth book, me and my business partner Lester. He does all the photography and like graphic design work. So this is our fourth book. But this book is truly special. It's the biggest book, so it has the most pictures and pages and stuff, but also we shot it on the island of Kauai.
Beautiful.
And I've been to Hawaii before, but never Kauai. And I have to tell you, like, if you guys haven't been, you have to go. It just made the art and the experience just so magical. I don't know. There's just like a magic to that island when you're there. It's called the Garden Island because there's like these lush jungles, and then they're like kind of juxtapositioned with the beautiful like blue beaches. But I really felt like because we traveled for other books, not as far as Hawaii, but just like traveling for like a shoot like that, and we stayed for like 6 nights. It just felt like it brought everything together, and like the whole creative process was just really special. Um, but yeah, finding ways to be more vulnerable. I guess there's like different ways to be vulnerable. Um, because it is a photo book, obviously, like being nude has its own vulnerabilities and challenges, especially when you're shooting on an island.
Yeah.
In cold
no.
water.
Yes, yes. But
Hey now.
we made it work. But I think also like for this book, especially, we wanted to really tell like a story from beginning to end. And I feel like because we were there and we were doing like these activities, and we're snorkeling, we're going to this beach, this location, it just really felt like the story was like kind of built in, and like our experience throughout the whole shoot. So I really wanted this book to kind of be more, instead of, yeah, there's like posy like photos and stuff, like photo ops like that, but like I really wanted it to kind of just tell a story of just our trip. So there's like a lot of like casual, just,
More candid.
yeah, more candid shots. Um, just it turned out so beautiful. I feel like I should show you guys some
What are your
pages.
favorites? Yeah, show us some of your
Yeah,
favorites.
I don't want to show like,
While you thumb through though, I'm interested. Was there anything that happened on this shoot that like is worth like sharing? Like maybe like something that happened behind the scenes?
oh my gosh.
Because there always is. There always
I
are.
still have like trauma from this. So we rented a car. We rented a Jeep, a yellow Jeep. Let me see if I can find it really fast in here. And it was like one of those Jeeps that like you could take the hood down or the top
Top off.
down.
Yeah.
Um Okay, so here's the Jeep. I'm gonna cover this photo because it's I don't know if you are gonna need to blur that out, but it's the
There's the
yellow
Jeep.
Jeep.
Okay, yep.
We rented the Jeep, and it was, like, one of, the last days of shooting, and we had the top down, and it was the first time we took the top down, and it started torrential downpour
Of
raining,
course.
and I was like, "Oh my gosh," like and it was we did, it wasn't, like, through, like, the airport, like, rental, it was, like, through one of those, like, just, like, you rent it from, like, a guy who's like, "Here's my car," so it was, like, very, like, casual, and, like, I just felt so bad that, like, his whole, like, Jeep was getting soaked. So I'm trying to shut it, and, like, they had, like, a video that you needed to watch, but it was, like, a 3-minute video, and I'm just, like, trying to get on the Wi-Fi to watch it to how to shut it, because opening it was fine, but shutting it for some reason I broke the whole top of the thing.
That wasn't
Oops,
in the budget.
It
you
was,
know
like, thousands of dollars to, like, fix. I felt so bad, but I was grateful that it happened towards the end because I felt so bad, like, I called him right away. I was like, "Oh my god, like, I'm so sorry, like, this happened." Like, I don't know, like, I guess I have, like, a strong arm or something when I, like, tried to, like, shut it too quickly, and it, like, snapped the whole thing. They, like, took it to the shop after we had left, and they were like, "Oh, it's a lot more damage, like, we have to replace the whole top." I was like, "Oh my god, like, this would happen." But that was like oh, I did scratch my knee on a rock that which
Mm,
was pretty bad, and, like, I kinda was freaking out because it was in, like, brackish water, which is, like, in between, like, a river and an ocean, and I was like, "Am I gonna get, like, Vibrio or
yeah.
something?"
bacterial playground.
Yeah, yeah. So, those were the only 2, like, mishaps, but for the most part, it was, like, a really, really amazing trip, and just, like, looking through these photos, like, I'm just, like, so proud of the work, and, like, just, like, this is, like, the back cover, but just, like,
The
it's
whole
just
thing,
so
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
beautifully
it's
Yeah,
shot.
brilliant.
yeah.
I gush for a good coffee table book, especially one where the Jeep have their tops off and you have your tops bottoms down. Is that how that goes?
Yes, yes. Tops
Something like
off,
that. Yeah,
bottoms off, everything was off.
of course. You can keep it on your coffee table, keep it on your wall in the calendar, whatever you want. But no, all kidding aside, I'm eager to know since you're more commonly recognized for your acting and your singing, like how did a visual project like this fit into the broader arc of your creative goals, and did it unlock anything new for you?
Yeah, so I really felt like and this goes back to just the magic of Kauai and the island because I felt like I we didn't have the title Island Boy before we shot, but, like, I felt like I almost stepped into, like, a character and, it can be kind of intimidating, especially, like, in public spaces when you're in I mean, we weren't shooting nude in public spaces, but, like, when you're just in, like, your underwear, your Speedo, I don't know, there's, like, families on vacation, like, it could just be really intimidating sometimes, and, like, you just kinda feel like I don't know, like, I'm such a people pleaser that I'm like, "Am I ruining these people's vacations right now?" Like, this is the last thing they probably wanna look at is, like, someone trying to, like, shoot, like, Lester with his big ass camera and, like, me in, like, a pink Speedo on, like, a lava rock in the water, but, like, stepping on that island, I really felt like I was stepping into, like, a character, and I feel like that really helped, and I just feel like that sort of character and, like, the island itself was, like, its own character, so just, like, that in itself made, like, this creative process, like, so much more fun. It wasn't just like, "Oh, we rented an Airbnb and we're, like, shooting and stuff like that." It was just, like, stepping inside of, like, these jungles and these beaches and, like, just almost like you're walking like, every time we left our little, like, bungalow that was, like, an oceanside bungalow, it was so nice. I just felt like I was walking into, like, a picture book, which we kind of, like, made, but, that was, like, the really cool part about having it on location like that and spending a lot of time on it. Because usually when we shoot a book, it's, like, 1 or 2 days of shooting, but this was, like, a full week of shooting, and just really be able to have fun with it and not stress out so much because we allotted more time to shoot and kind of play around, so that was the really cool part about this book.
Thanks for sharing, and +1 to
Mm.
Kauai. I went there, and
You did?
people always say it's lush, and I was like, "Stop using that word." It is lush. It is
Yeah,
that is the right word for it, and it is pure magic, so you
yeah.
picked the right spot to bring that magic to your book, and Kauai was one of my favorite spots in Hawaii for sure, hands down.
Me too, hands down. We also have, for the people who don't like nudity, because I know, like, some people wanna buy it, but, like, they don't wanna just, like, have a book out that has, my, in but so we we've made a safe for work version too. So this is
Oh,
like
an NSFW version.
yeah, so we have oh, I can actually show you a
I
picture.
want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, so this is like the safe for work. It has like 60 more pages of pictures that aren't in the other book.
Mhm.
But I just wanted to have that option, especially for my family, because it's always nice to be like, "Oh, I did this project, but here's like the one that you could flip through without me having to like rip out pages."
And such a smart move. Holiday gifts for everyone. We love
Yes,
it.
yes, of all ages.
So, I mean, Chris, you've also been such a huge visible presence in queer media for the longest time. And I say that because when I was 23 living in LA, and I'm aging myself, which we will talk about a little bit, in your eating out films, I remember getting those in Netflix, the actual DVDs, right? Like I
Yes.
remember that. So thank you for giving us visibility in the space that had none. Now that you've kind of you're we always say we're aging gracefully and we're in our new era. What responsibility do you feel towards our community now, and how has it evolved since you did the eating out films, right? Like it's been, I don't want to date you, but it's been probably 20 plus years.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about how long ago that was. It's like some parts feel like it was yesterday, and some parts I'm like, "Oh my god, like, I am a completely different person." But those movies were I'm so near and dear to my heart because like you said, like, it, like, really made my career, and the fans and the people that watch those movies, like, it has, like, a cult following, so, like, even to this day, like, people still message me saying, like, "Oh, like, that was the first gay movie I saw, like, this helped me, like, realize, like, I don't have to hide anymore."
Mhm.
So, like, messages like that are all really, really sweet, and I still get them to this day, which is really, really cool. Um, but I would say yeah, especially now and, like, the political climate, like, has it's always changing, but, like, especially now, it feels, um, like queer media is so much more important today than it ever has been, especially with, these huge production companies and these huge, like, executives getting rid of, like, all these, like, inclusivity things and stuff like that, um So I feel like it's really important now, queer media. I would love for them to make another Eating Out movie. It's, like, been talked about so much. I feel like it'll happen one day. I think yeah, it would be Eating Out 6 because there's 5 of them.
Mhm.
I was gonna say 20,
Um
25 years later, we're finally eating in, you know what I mean?
Right, 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 right. Some of the cast jokes about it, like, eating out the nursing home or something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, like I said, like I just really feel like queer media is so important nowadays because of what's going on in the world. Um so I feel like there just needs to be more and not so much I feel like people need to talk more about not so much just having a gay character in a movie or a TV show or whatnot, but more about like the stories
Mhm.
of our lives. Usually it's like you're cast as a gay character just to fill like a some sort of page or something, but um the movies about and the TV shows about, actual lives of gay people and, like, just, like, the ins and outs and the struggles that, the LGBTQ plus community go through, I feel like that's, like, kind of like a dying breed, Like, people yeah, they'll touch on it, but I don't know, I would love to see more, like more serious films about, like, the struggles and the challenges and also, like, the successes of these characters.
Yeah, you've got it's clear you've got such an an abundant heart, right? Like, just the fact that you can have that level of empathy and show that level of compassion for our community. I mean, honestly, we are one that the media, has sort of not known what to do with, and I think our voices are really becoming amplified. So thank you for being part of that. And you've shown some of the support with organizations like the Gay American Heroes Foundation and the It Gets Better product project. Some of these organizations weren't around when we were even 20 years old, right? But thinking about going back further, if you could speak directly to the younger version of yourself growing up in Richboro, Pennsylvania,
Yep.
what message do you think he needed that you think you could give him now, that you've learned through this community?
Wow. That's a great question. And I think about this a lot because I really struggled when I was younger. I was super bullied. Um, they didn't really call me gay until high school, but it was like I was just super effeminate and they called me a girl. I was in like dance classes, so they found out that I was like the only boy in all the dance like recitals. And so they were just like, "Oh, you're a girl, you're a girl." Um, but like that like kind of shaped who I am so much in my adulthood. I think it like really ingrained the empathy part of me, just because I struggled so much as a younger kid, being different. Um, so I guess I would just say like, wow, to hang in there because it's tough. And I know that it's different now for younger gay kids because there's more acceptance, but still like there's cities and towns in America and all across the world, especially where it's still not okay, even illegal in some places. And that can be really, really tough. And I feel like you just have to like keep the faith and keep the hope alive that things will get better. I know it sounds like cheesy to say like it gets better, but like it's the truth. Um because, like, growing up is hard enough, and then adding on top, like, being a part of, a smaller community, even, like, people in the transgender community get it even worse, people of color, like that, so, um, I would just tell myself just to, like, keep the faith alive and keep going, and one day um you truly will be recognized for your authenticity and not to shy away from being your authentic self because I feel like for so long and so many people do this is they try to like hide themselves and shrink themselves. Um, but for me is what gave me the confidence and just kind of the will to like keep on going um, was finding my authenticity and my voice and speaking out about it, um, despite what, you know, trolls or haters say on the internet about it, So just to keep the faith alive that it will get better.
Well, now I'm misty for a whole new reason. My gosh. That's so sweet.
Chris, you mentioned, you had empathy as a kid and, your authentic self. We have to bring up Norma. Like, for
Mm.
those who don't know, in 2017, Chris became the devoted caregiver for his 89-year-old neighbor, Norma Cook, after she was diagnosed with leukemia and could no longer live alone. And you provided her 24-hour care, like a saint. I guess our question is diving more into this empathy piece and you just being the amazing person that you are. What made that connection so immediate? But then also, like, how do you carry Norma's spirit and lessons with you today? Because it sounds like, even just with the way you're talking, it sounds like there's stuff ingrained in you already.
Yeah, it was I keep using the word magical, I don't know why, it's like a magic
We
day, I
like that
guess,
word.
but
We're good.
yeah, it was, like, such a magical experience, and, uh, to touch, like, a little bit more about, like, who I was, like, when I was younger and the bullying and talking about how being in those, like, challenges at school and really kind of shaped the empathy part. Like, I remember, like, even, like, going to the mall with my mom, like, you walk through the food court and I would see, like, people eating alone, and I would be like, "Oh, I feel so bad for them, like, why are they eating alone?" Which they probably are eating alone because 'cause they're shopping and they're hungry, but, like, my head, like, I guess I was always just, like my brain was wired to, like, look after people and make sure people feel comfortable. So when I met Norma and I saw that she didn't really have a lot of help, um, the friendship was supernatural, almost overnight, I feel like, when we met, and then just spending time with her and then slowly realizing, like, oh, she doesn't really have a lot of help, like, maybe she has family in Oklahoma, but they're not here in LA, and, she'll have, like, different friends come over, but some of them were as old as she was, so just kind of witnessing that, and then it wasn't until she got sicker and started falling, and then she would end up in the hospital for a few days, and then she would come home, and then a couple weeks later, it would happen again, and then I was like, "Oh, wow, like, this is, like, serious." Like, it wasn't until she fell, like, maybe the 4th time where the hospital was like, "We can't release her back to her house without home care." And I had been kind of, like, documenting our friendship on Instagram, and just I would use the hashtag my neighbor Norma, and people would love, like, seeing, like, Norma updates. They would always ask me, like, "Oh, how's she doing? How's she doing?" So she became, like, even, like, bigger than me on my own Instagram, which was funny, and she loved it so much. She was, "Read me the comments, honey, read me the comments."
Aw.
But it wasn't until that 4th time that she fell where I was like, "Okay, this is serious." So I was like, "Why don't I see if I can raise some money for her home care with just people that follow me and they know of her and stuff like that?" And it was a super successful, GoFundMe campaign, and she was able to come out of the hospital and have a home care. But then as the money slowly started to, go, I was like, "Oh, crap, like, now what do I do? I can't, like, just abandon her now." So I had, like, an extra bedroom in my apartment, which is just across the hall from hers, and I was like, "Do you just wanna move in with me and, like, we can save some money for, like, half of the home care stuff?" Because she needed 24-hour home
Mhm.
care, so at first, she was getting 24-hour home care all from this company, but then towards the end, I was like, "Well, I can do during the day, or someone can do during the day, and I can do at night," because she just couldn't even get out of bed without someone being there because she might fall. So that happened, and then, as the money was continuing to go, I was like, "I can do this," and, like, I've never done that before, like, I've never really taken care of an elderly person before. I never really bathed an elderly person before, so it was a huge learning curve of, like, just everything that I needed to learn to take care of her, but she was my best friend, so I didn't see it as a choice. I was like, "This is just what you do for people." And before I asked to move her in, I was talking to one of my friends and I was like, "Is this, like, crazy of me?" Because they were like, "Why would you do that? Like, you have your life, your career, like, you're now, you know, moving someone into your home to take care of, and they need 24-hour support." And I was like, "I just feel really called to do this." It was just like an out of body, like, experience where I was just like, there's no other choice. Like, I couldn't even, think about it in a way where it's like, "Oh, maybe not," you know? And I was like, "People are gonna think I'm crazy, like, this is so crazy." But I did it, and it was, like, the most magical experience, this transformative experience, I think, for the both of us. I remember when I asked her, she was like, "Oh, honey, that's the only thing I ever wanted is for her to, like, be my roommate." So I was like, that's, like, just
Aw.
it was just so sweet, and it had its challenges, um, especially because then you get so much more close and, like, you know the end is near. So that was really, in a way, just very transformative for me, and to go through that knowing that, you don't have forever, and it was kind of the first time where I was, like, faced with, like, a death that was that close to me, um, but yeah, it was just truly magical, and obviously, I'll never forget that, and just how beautiful the response was, even today, like, people it'll still, like, kind of, reemerge on different pages and stuff, and people just send me messages like, "Wow, like, reading this kind
Yeah.
of reinstated my hope for humanity," and, like, just, like, the power of just that, um, gives me chills because like what else do we have but to lead by example to help others, you know? So, it was truly special, the whole thing. So,
Well said.
yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and you also said, on this, while you were sharing with us, your viewers, that you believe human kindness is a magical thing and that it can heal what doctors can't, which I love.
Mm.
This episode brought to you by magic. Um,
Yes.
uh, but what part or parts of you, did this experience heal, or what parts did it transform? You kept talking about this transformative experience that I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Um, I really growing up, I touched a little bit about it. I really just didn't have a lot of self-confidence. I really felt kind of like the bullies in school, like they won, you know? Like little part of me felt like okay, like, they took everything out of me, like, you know, and I come from, like, dark, dark places, like, I suffer with depression off and on my entire life, you know, and, um, I feel like I never really looked back and, it's funny enough, spoke to my younger self in a way where in a way where I spoke in how I spoke to Norma, and so taking care of Norma and caring for her and being with her, it was almost like healing my inner child. It was like finally I found somebody who saw me as a child and like as much love as I gave her, like the amount of love she gave me was tenfold. And I felt like that experience really and that connection just really helped heal those, like, deep wounds that I carried for so long, that I would kind of, like, you know, disregard when I looked at myself in the mirror or just kind of tried to, like, sweep under a rug. Um, and caring for someone who is dying, I feel like really opens up everything in you. Um, and I was not prepared for how much that would affect me in a positive way. Um, Because it kinda, like, broke me open, I feel like. Um,
Grief can do that.
yeah. Yeah, and I've had, like, relatives pass away before, but this was like yeah, like, it just cracked me open in a way where you can't really, like, go back to your old self afterwards. You kinda have to, like, implement who you are becoming. And I think also, like, just it being so public and the response, being so overwhelmingly positive, it was like, wow, like, I have a purpose where sometimes before, like, I didn't feel like I did, you know? It's one thing to, like, make a coffee table book and, like, be naked and promote yourself, but, like, that experience, like, no one will ever be able to take that away from me. And they may try, they may there's people who may see the situation and say like, "Oh, he did it for money," or "He did it for this or that," but I know that, like, no one will ever be able to take that away from me. So, it's really special. I won't say magical again.
You know,
It's
we could say
really
special, magical, all I mean, I love it. Like, John and I talk a lot about healing and growing, and
Yeah.
the one thing all 3 of us have in common, we're a little further ahead of you, but we all turned 40.
Yes, the 40
A
Club.
and 40 club. John and I call it our new era. Some might call it death in our community. But what do you
Yeah.
want to accomplish in this next era for Chris in his 40s?
Oh gosh. When I turned I turned 40 in May. So I've had like a few
On
months to
on
kind
my
of.
mom's birthday, it's Brian's aunt and
Oh,
my
no
mom's
way. May
birthday.
22nd.
You share that with her, yeah, I so
Oh,
noticed that.
amazing.
Yeah,
Gemini. Um,
Gemini,
but we're like we're like the cool Geminis. Like I've heard like the later Geminis are a little bit, you know,
22 the
because
22nd's
Geminis get a
cool.
bad reputation. Um, but I'm sorry, wait. Oh, what do I want to do?
Yeah. Tell us.
Um,
Dreams.
yes. So turning 40, I was kind of like, it was the first year I was kind of like, oh my God, am I having like a crisis? Like I kind of felt like scared. Um, but I don't know, now more than ever, like, especially all of the stuff that we talked about prior, like, I feel like I really know myself. And yeah, like, you are an adult, like, in your late 20s, like, 30s and stuff, but, like, I don't know, it just felt like I feel like now, like, I really, really know myself, and also I have clear boundaries. I talked about being a little bit of a people pleaser, and now in my 40s, I'm like, "Oh, wow, like, I don't really care what people think of me anymore." Like, yeah, like, you could say what you want about me or my life, but, like, I know who I am, and that gives me a lot of confidence, and that gives me a lot of confidence to, like, go out and do things that, like, maybe before I was like, like, maybe I'm too old to keep acting. Maybe I'm too old to, like, record another song or something like that. But now I'm like, "No," like, now I wanna, like, do it all. So it definitely has given me more confidence in, like, in my own skin. But yeah, I really wanna get back into acting. I mean, I've been, living in Pennsylvania for the last year, so that's been very different because I was in LA for, like, 14 years before that.
Mhm.
Um, but, I really am thinking about moving back to LA and, like, getting back into acting. Um, yeah, I'm excited about my 40s.
We are too.
Well, we are. I'm excited for your 40s as well. If you keep bringing out things like Island Boy, bring it on. We are all surely sending you the best energy in accomplishing all those amazing things. And,
Thank
you
you.
said you've known yourself and that you have boundaries, but I think now we're going to see how well you know yourself and if we could break those boundaries in a quick, what we like to call lightning round. It's a little
Yes.
quick 10 questioner. So are you ready to fire off with us?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Are you a scruff or no scruff kind of guy?
Definitely scruff. Like, if I shave, I'll look. Oh, wait, is it about me or about someone
You
else?
take it any direction you wanna go, Chris.
Any way you want to
This is
go.
not
If
PG.
I if I shave, I hate the way I look when I shave, so I'm like, "Oh, let me keep the scruff." Yeah.
Acting or singing?
Ooh, I would say acting.
Ocean or jacuzzi?
Ooh, jacuzzi, because it's warm. Unless it's a really warm ocean, like in Kauai.
Do you prefer bear or twink
I could go either
or
way.
a threesome?
Or yeah, actually both. I'm all about variety.
Why choose? West Coast or East Coast?
Oh, man. East
Twink.
Coast.
Oh,
Yeah, I would say
East Co
East Coast. I'm having a lot of fun, like, seeing my family and just being closer to them, so
Yeah.
East Coast for now.
Okay. Ass or chest?
Oh, man. Twink. No.
Touche.
Both.
Um, I think I'm a chest guy.
Mm,
It's a good pillow. Well, I guess the ass could be a good pillow too.
it depends.
Yeah. Can't talk to an a I guess you could too. Um, Fire Island or Palm Springs?
Ooh, Palm Springs.
Of
Okay.
course.
For your next song, do you wanna do a power ballad or a club banger?
Ooh, power ballad. Yes.
Love it.
Uh, are you, a shower or a kitchen counter kinda guy if you follow our lead?
Oh my god, love shower. Like,
Yeah,
that's,
right.
like, one of my favorites.
Hence Hawaii, all
Yeah,
the
Mhm.
things you did,
Outdoor shower.
all of it.
waterfall.
I agree.
Mhm.
Okay, this one, because we're getting into the holiday season. Are we a Mariah Christmas gay or a Judy Garland gay?
Ooh, I would have to say Mariah.
Mm,
Same. Yeah. Hey, you know what, Chris? This was absolutely a blast, and I just really wanna say, um, the magic came from all the vulnerability. I felt like Norma almost was probably even here with us today because, like, that
I
story was
feel it too.
so super touching. I literally, like, joked about getting misty, but I seriously, like, almost shedded a tear. I don't know if you watched, but I did. Thank you,
yes,
and we
thank
sure
you.
hope to have you back. Before we leave, just tell us where can we follow you, and how can we, keep up with your journey?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Chris Salvatore. Twitter or X is C Salvatore. And you can go to my website, chrissalvatore.com. We have, the Island Boy coffee table book, and we
Go
also
get
have
it.
calendars, 2 covers, which I love this one.
I love that shot. I saw that on your
Yeah.
social. Yeah.
So you could get those at my website, chrissalvatore.com. And I'm also going to do some book signings here in California, in Palm Springs in LA in January. So look out for those dates too.
Keeping
Stay
busy.
tuned for the States, stay busy, and we wish you all the best this season of the holiday. Keep bringing magic. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
guys. Thank you
Chris.
for the magical time.
Yes, love it. Bye.
This was Out Loud and Laughing. We're available everywhere you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, iHeart, or wherever.